Hey, everybody. Future editor David here, dropping in to call out that during our recording, I forgot to play part 2 of Elysia's 3-part comm link for us. And we remembered to play it, but it was like at the very end after we read out all the shout outs and thank yous to everyone. So stick around to the very end of the podcast to hear that. And that is Elysia talking about the tie-in comic that they've been releasing. We should have played it earlier and we just sort of forgot about it. So stick around and pick that up. Otherwise, everything else is good with the episode. So hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you next week for episodes 5 and 6. Thanks. Welcome to the Lorehounds. We're your guides to the underbelly of the Empire. I'm David. This is our coverage of episodes 3 and 4 for the new Star Wars animated feature, Maul, Shadow Lord. With me today is not John, but I have Jean, our, what's up, man? Comic book expert, co-host of Comics Versus podcast, all around, you're like, what? You're one of our all-around hitters.
Oh,
you show up on anything. You're on the DC.
I appreciate
the MCU.
that.
Yeah.
I like
You're
that.
cornerstone now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. You know,
cool.
It's 90 degrees in NY, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's hot.
Yep. And then it's going to drop to 50. So.
Right next week. Yeah. Blizzard, right? We're having a snowstorm on the weekend or something.
Gosh.
Also with us today, flying the extra jump sheet, is a man who wears many hats around the Lorehounds community. Bryan 8063. Bryan, let's go down the list here. You're a moderator on the Discord.
Yep.
You're the editor-in-chief of the blog, of the community blog.
That's right.
You're the co-host of the new Into the West podcast with your sister.
Yes.
Am I missing anything else?
I
think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So
you'll
that's a
see
lot.
me. Yeah.
And you're a lore master and a Discord server booster, aren't you?
Not the
Discord server booster.
No.
Okay, but you are a lore master.
I am a lore master.
Goodness me. This guy, he gets around. How you doing, Bryan?
I'm good. I'm good. Also, like all of you, I'm out, not outside. It's 95 degrees.
Oh, you guys hit 95.
Jeez.
Yeah, 95.
Oh.
We went from winter to summer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
All right. So, we're coming in hot with full spoilers. Everything Star Wars is on the table. We got a comm link from Elysia with both her fresh takes, some comics info, and a lore report about the Pyke Syndicate for us to consider. As always, you can send us your comm links to starwars@thelorehounds.com. We've got a Discord channel set up for this, so each of the pairs of episodes are siloed, so you can have spoiler-free conversation. There are links for everything in the show notes. There's a link tree. You can check out all of our affiliate podcasts. And we're independent podcasters, so we would love to have your support. And you can get ad-free episodes and a whole bunch of other bonus content, either on Patreon or Supercast. We give you the choice. Again, links in the show notes. There's a link tree, and it's just got a whole list of stuff. So, a little bit of background on Star Wars. I always like to level set with Star Wars because the Star Wars fans can get a little frisky. So we cover Star Wars pretty regularly on the Lorehounds. I'm a casual fan, child of 77, seen the movies, seen a bunch of the television shows, but I haven't read any of the books and I don't study the timeline or anything. Jean, I know we talked about it last episode, but where are you at?
I'm a fan. So
okay, you've done. You're down on some of the comics and stuff.
All
right?
the movies, all the TV shows.
Okay.
A lot of the comics, I haven't really delved into the books. That's the only thing.
Right. So you got that more extra knowledge. Like you said, your last episode, you're force sensitive.
Yes.
You're Kylo.
Not
Kylo. You're
I'm Finn.
Finn. Sorry. Yeah, Kylo is a little bit more more than force sensitive. Bryan, I don't think we've ever talked Star Wars with you. So what's your orientation towards Star Wars?
Yeah, I, like you, David, came from the 1977 experience, became obsessed, got all the toys, got all the bedspread,
Underoos. No, I don't want to. Let's not go down the Underoo line.
No,
Okay.
vintage. Now vintage. Yeah. But I saw the original series, then the prequel movies, and then started reading the books.
Right.
And started watching the shows.
So would you feel that you could hang with Elysia in terms of getting into the deep lore? Like if you wanted to sit at the right hand of a Sith Lord of lore, would you be a good student for Elysia?
I think student would be the key word.
Okay.
Because I probably would forget most what she could say.
Right. Fair
yeah,
enough.
So she is the master. Maybe I'm an apprentice. Maybe.
So it sounds like you're a little bit above Jean and I, though. Maybe in terms of keeping it together. Maybe
I don't do as many comics. Okay. I think as Jean does, but we, I could talk.
Okay,
I can talk.
All right, excellent. Okay, so like I said, we're not a specialty podcast. We cover a lot of things, everything from The Pit, which we're about to wrap up on, Rings of Power, House of Dragons, all that kind of good stuff. I'm really excited for The Bear is coming back this summer. I know The Terror is coming up. That should be good. Jean, you guys are you doing some check-in coverage on
Daredevil.
What's his name? Daredevil. How's that going?
We just dropped a rehash of the first few eps. You can find that out now.
Right.
And
is the series good?
Yeah, I'm really loving it.
Yeah, okay. It's good.
Is it better than last year?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to drop in on that. Okay. Very good. Okay. So we got lots going on. So, you can go back into our specialty feed that has only the Star Wars content or just our main regular feed. And we've got extensive coverage of Andor, the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, all the stuff. So we're all there. That said, let's get into some fresh takes. Bryan, we'll go to you first since you're jumping in on the hot seat this week. Give your sense of the overall so far 1 through 4, and then anything specific you have for 3 or 4. How you feeling for this season so far?
You are giving me the hot seat.
Yes.
So the animation, first off, and I know a lot of people have said this, it is amazing. It is drop dead amazing.
Yeah.
And it really has that ability to draw me into the story. So sometimes there'd be maybe some moments I'm thinking, oh, I don't know, where's this going to go? And then I see the animation and it's like, whoa. So this is an opportunity for me to kind of bring myself back, even for a few seconds, just to bring myself back into this universe. And so it's really, really amazing. But also this series, and especially episode 3 and 4, I've seen Clone Wars, I've seen Rebels. This is darker for me. And not just because we're underground or we're at nighttime, but I think because Maul is more Sithy here. Mm-hmm. Because in Clone Wars, he was a side character. We only checked in on him once in a while. But here we get Maul all the time. And it's a show about him and how he's answering the questions about where my place is beyond just crime lord, building an empire of crime, right? It's about his place, his vengeance, and he's talking a lot more about Jedi Sith stuff than I remember in Clone Wars. I could be mistaken, but it feels darker that way as Would it
be fair to say that he in previous iterations in Clone Wars and other things, he was pretty much a two-dimensional cutout, mustache twirling, dual lightsaber wielding bad guy, right? Like did we get a lot of that? I haven't, famously, I'm on record for not having completed Rebels or Clone Wars. So you can at me if you want. I don't care. But yeah, so that's my question to you is what level of facets did we examine with Maul prior to this? I know we got a couple of short arcs with him, but this is really a showcase for him in this season, this series.
It's almost like, and Sean, maybe correct me, for Clone Wars, I think, I want to say Maul was more of survival.
Okay.
Because he got, injured, to say the least, and he had to really repair himself. And then there was the arc of the building of the criminal empire.
Okay.
But I don't remember, he certainly faces Jedi, once or twice. I don't know. It just gives you the ability, I think, because the show is all about him, or most of it's about him. You really begin to kind of focus a lot on what's he really trying to say. And he's saying a lot of stuff that's very interesting about the Sith and his place, about, balance and things like that.
Right. So needless to say, you are enjoying the season so far.
I am. Yeah. And
anything particular for episodes 3 or 4 that you wanted to highlight before we get into the details, or?
I think it could wait. The only thing I will say is not a lot of people talked about Spybot.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should get a Spybot. The electricity is out. Hey, Spybot, fix the electricity.
Jack the grid.
Yeah. Spybot, I think Maul and his team would not be as far along without Spybot. He's just amazing.
MVP.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's eyes, ears, stomping in.
Yep. Fixing things, destroying things, sabotage,
threatening people.
Yep.
I think
He's
you're
everything.
right. I think Maul would not be further along in his plots without a good utility bot, spy bot.
Yeah.
Jean, anything for 3 or 4 in specific? I mean, for me, I'll just say really quickly, episode 4 was like, okay, it was fine. We're moving along. It was cool. There's some good stuff. But man, episode 3 was amazing. The storytelling, the construction, everything. I just loved it. So anyway,
two things. I think first for Maul, I think he gets a lot of, you delve into his psyche in previous shows like Rebels and Clone Wars a little bit. So to see him in this light is not at all surprising to me.
Surprising.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because he really goes at, you can see the wheels turning in Rebels with how he is thinking, right? And this show is very much, to me, a callback to that. That's just for me. As far as these last 2 episodes, it's all about Two Boots. It's all about Two Boots.
We get a shot too at one point of the boots when he landed up on the gantry in the top.
Shot of the boots. We need to talk about Two Boots.
Yes, we do.
We need to talk about that joint.
All right. Put a pin in that. We will get into it in the episode. Yeah, because he does play a bit of a pivotal role in there. I think the only thing I would add to what you guys have said is there's one thing that's like a minor annoyance of the show for me, in that it's the cuts are happening so fast that I don't feel like I get to appreciate the detail and quality of the animation to a degree that I want. I'll see something, it'll be a cityscape, or it'll be a quick flash, or one of the characters will be lit up from a muzzle flash, or, something like that. And then it's gone. It's quick, jump, shoot, moving on. And I'm like, no, wait, I wanted to appreciate that for a beat or 2 more to really allow the animation style to impress. It was like seeing, what was the Spider-Man movie, the animated Spider-Man movie, Jean, that you and me and Elysia covered? Yeah, so long ago. I remember seeing it in the theater, and I was just like, man, I can't handle this because I want to pause and like fall into these frames.
Yeah.
And so that's the same for the show, is like, I just want to appreciate this, and I can't because this episode's moving so quick.
Well, you bring something exactly right, David, is that in episode 3, I actually stopped one part of the animation scene, and that is when Devon is fighting Maul.
Yeah.
And she holds up Maul's lightsaber, the double-edged sword, and her eyes reflect from the saber into her eyes. And I thought, that's what she looks like if she becomes a Sith.
Nice.
The way the reflection is. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they really understand. This is a great, I think, maturation of the Star Wars animated style. They really are using the style of animation as part of the storytelling, just like Spider-Verse did. It brings a level of depth and complexity and attention to the characters. And given that we're in this gritty world and there's a use of a lot of darkness and shadows, that actually really works for this animation style as well, in the sense that I don't know, there's the way that they texture and shadow things is, and they're really smart about how they're lighting the characters, light fading away so that only a head and a face is left. And then it sort of goes in on the eyes and you're just like, oh man. So I really appreciate the overall style, but I'm a little bit annoyed at them in terms of the fast paced editing. So minor annoyance. Anyway. Well, if we've got nothing else for our sort of fresh takes. Oh, I've got Elysia's. She sent in a 3-part recording. As I mentioned at the top, we've got a fresh take on the episode. We've got some comic information and then a comm link on the Pyke Syndicate. So let's listen to her fresh takes for...
Hello, Elysia checking in by comlink again after Maul, Shadow Lord, episodes 3 and 4. I am still really enjoying the show. I seem to be more enthralled by the series so far than some members of our Discord. But, I mean, aside from how spectacular it looks, both the show and the comic, which it just is reminding me of everything that I love about the Blade Runner aesthetic. But aside from that, even I'm a sucker for stories about characters grappling with questions of complex motivations and alliances. And here we have, on the one side, Maul, who has those shaky alliances he lost through Force, not the Force per se, but you know what I mean. But on the other hand, we see that Maul sees in Devon Azara something that he hasn't since Sidious killed his brother Savage, and a potential apprentice who can offer something his loyal number 2, Death Watch Mandalorian Rook Cast cannot. Rook Cast, she stuck by his side through his lowest moments up to and after Order 66 when others have not, but without a talent for the Force with a capital F, she can never be Maul's acolyte in the way that Devon could be. So we see now Devon still defending her Jedi Master, Iko Diodaki, despite some differences in opinion in how they should handle their exile and the death sentence from the Empire hanging over their heads. But I think that alliance is sure to be tested further now that the Empire has arrived on the scene. My worry, and not worry in terms of writing, but my worry for the characters is that this will end in a similar way to the Acolyte, meaning that Iko Diodaki will be the Jedi life that Devon takes to bleed her lightsaber. Though, since Maul isn't a real Sith anymore, maybe together they can find a new way forward? It is, of course, notable that Devon isn't with Maul when he turns up in Rebels 14 years later, but a lot can happen in 14 years. And then you add to all this the whole dynamic between Brander Lawson and Two Boots. The comic book establishes that Two Boots always plays it more by the book than Lawson. And like we also saw in this episode, Lawson understands that the Empire is not the Republic. And I don't think Two Boots does understand that. I think Two Boots is about to learn a tough lesson and is going to end up regretting calling them in when he figures out that this is not the friendly Republic that he's used to.
Jean, during that, I was watching your face, and it seemed like you had some emotional reactions to what Elysia was putting down. Did I read you right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The idea that Devon will, take out.
Dude, I got chills when she said that, she might bleed his lights. I don't know. I don't care if she's accurate or not about that prediction. Just that idea. I was just like, oh, that's delicious. Like, I want that.
I had not thought about that. I didn't think about that.
Me neither.
And that is, That's
right? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That's a great twist. I was thinking to myself, who in this universe could take down Maul. And I was thinking, well, could there be like a Godzilla versus King Kong battle with Darth Vader versus Maul? Oh, that would have been sweet. But, yeah, Devon, okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Am I wrong? Wasn't there an epic saber battle? Was it with the kid in some like big pyramid thing with Maul, or was that maybe I'm just mixing up all. Was it Rebels?
Yeah,
was Maul in Rebels?
Yeah. Maul was in Rebels, but like Elysia.
Did they have an epic? Did he and Ezra have a big epic fight in a temple place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And wasn't he lifting the stones and stuff to get in?
That was Sidious.
Oh, okay.
And Ezra.
That's right.
Ezra and Maul, Ezra and Sidious, Kanan, they all had their moments.
Cut that dude's ponytail.
Oh, man,
the most annoying stuff. All right, moving on. But this isn't Maul. We're here for Maul. We're here for Maul. Let's go.
Don't make me come out defending Kanan.
Look, I'm coming to your house on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do it.
Yeah, you're not going to be invited in.
No, I'm going to step in and get whacked from behind the door,
and not from me. That's the thing. It's E. It's not me.
Oh yeah. Uncle David's gonna get it.
Kanan is E's boy. I'm telling you, that's his guy. That's his guy.
Oh, I'm in trouble. All right. Good thing he doesn't listen to the podcast. I think.
Yeah, not yet. Exactly. We'll save this one though.
All right, Bryan. Any reactions to Elysia's thing?
I think it echoes very well what I was thinking about with the animation and the complexity of the story and the characters is well said.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will get into the episodes proper. All right, we're back. We're going to kind of talk about episodes in 3 and 4 together. We'll talk about them separately, but we're not going to put a blast shield between them. So, if conversation bleeds over, that's the way it is. But we'll start off with a little synopsis. Thank you, Wikipedia, for the chapter synopsis. Chapter 3, Whispers in the Unknown. Maul's followers confront the escaped Devon and direct her to Maul, who offers her tea. Devon seizes half of Maul's double-bladed lightsaber and attempts to fight him. Maul hides in the darkness and taunts the terrified Devon, questioning her path now that her life with the Jedi Order is over. Meanwhile, Lawson tells Two Boots what he's learned about Maul and tells him to investigate Vario's dealings with the Pykes. As he takes some time to attend Riley's sports match, Lawson is approached by Daki, claiming to be Devon's uncle, who says Devon was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Two Boots and TDF officer Reb discover a confrontation between the Pykes and Vario's men over a shipment, only to be ambushed by Maul's followers, who destroy the shipment and flee. Lawson leaves Riley's match early when notified of the attack by Two Boots, who continues to advocate calling the Empire. When Lawson again refuses, Two Boots goes over his head to Cleese, straining their relationship. As Devon attempts to escape, Maul reveals himself and they fight. He reclaims his lightsaber before letting her leave. Bryan, to you again as our this week's sort of guest. What do you got for this episode? Where do you want to start us off with? We could talk about Lawson, Two Boots, Devon, and Maul. Where do you want to go?
Well, we'll start with Devon and Maul, because that, as I was saying earlier, really brings very interesting aspects to the show that we might have kind of have missed for a while. And Maul is such a cool cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
He talks in this low, it's not like Darth Vader, right? With the breathing and the ominous voice. He just has a low voice. The character actor is so good. And he just has a conversation with Devon. It's like, have you really thought clearly about what the Jedi is doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Jedi is really pitting you. They're kind of keeping you behind all this. You need to break free and think of things in a different way. And he just, they're having tea. It's like a little Zen moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just calmly fights her. And if I remember correctly, he has one arm behind his back.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like he's not full Darth on here. He doesn't need to. She's not at that level.
I think Daki presses him a little bit more in episode 4.
Yes,
but
that's
here,
right.
He's really
and he's having a conversation with her, just like it's kind of like a trademark actually when you think about it from the movies and such, is that like Darth Vader was talking about Luke, Darth Vader's talking to Luke while they're fighting with their swords. It's this all great interplay between the two of them, which really was an amazing scene. And then you throw in, of course, the great animation. It was something special.
And I loved that when she sits down for the tea ceremony, the half of the lightsaber is just there. And that this is part of his testing of her and setting her up to start to learn not only how capable she is, but how her mind works. And is she going to rise? Is she going to take the bait, literally, of this unaided thing? But then I loved, not only is the episode, Whispers in the Unknown, right? So it's like, Maul whispering to her in the darkness and stuff. But then I just loved the construction. So as the other stuff is going on in the world, we're getting this cat and mouse between Maul and Devon. Jean, what did you make of their interaction here in this episode?
I think the tea scene is one of my favorite scenes in a Star Wars property.
Ever? Like going into like a top 10 scene thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just love the way that she walks in and he's there, the tea, and he's slowly, pouring the tea, mixing it, stirring it, and so calm and so welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
But
it disarms her.
Yes. It disarms me. I want to have tea with Maul.
Yeah.
Pour me a cup, bro.
Yeah.
Let's talk about things. I'm here. But he gives this energy that for her, who has struggled for such a long time, who's lost so much, who is lost, right? In almost every sense, he's giving this energy like, I know what you're going through. Just come, sit down, have a cup of tea. Let's have a nice conversation about your future. Not about me, not about Daki, not about the Empire, not about my vengeance. Yeah. Let's have a conversation about you and your future over a hot cup of tea. Man, that hit.
Yeah.
That hit.
And it's so well constructed in the sense that he is genuinely interested in her.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's also genuinely interested in using her. Like
Absolutely.
The two things are true.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We know this.
The motivation is not only to use her, but he really is fascinated. Who is this young person who has survived Order 66 and is still out here, without having gotten captured by the Empire or the, the Inquisitors.
And how can I use her to further my own?
And that is a separate, it is also at the same time.
And that's, you just want to, because I looked at the screen, I just want to tell her to run because I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Master Gaslighter.
Yeah.
I
just love that scene.
Sorry, Brad, go.
It's great stuff. Yeah. Well done, gents. And I wish, because Maul, it seems in some ways Maul and Devon, come from a similar place because Maul was, cut in half. He had to struggle. He was starving. And he probably sees a little bit of her in him, right? When it's like, I've been there, Devon. You're struggling. You don't have time to think about these things. Let's talk about these things. Jedi isn't the only thing in the universe. It's not the only philosophy. And where there's the other side of the coin. So the two of them come from a similar space in that way of surviving, I think.
Yeah. And he says to her, basically, you got power. You have real power. Yeah. And you're out here begging on the streets and living rough. What are you doing
with that power?
With that power.
Yeah. What are you doing with that
good
power?
Or evil, what are you doing? You're just living small and you're big.
Which is the question. I'm sorry, but this is the question that I've always had about the Jedi in this time. You have the power to, positively change people's lives in this moment. And the majority of them are not doing that. Right. And he asked that question. You have this power. What are you doing with it? Nothing.
And that I think upsets him on a level. That's
absolutely.
a waste. That's a waste of talent.
Yes.
And whether you're carrying a blue lightsaber or a red lightsaber, he doesn't care. Yeah. He's just like, what are you doing with you have this?
Yeah.
So let's go.
That's right. He understands having that kind of force power. He understands what it could be used for. And I think he understands just firsthand of what that kind of power could give you, and wasting it is insulting.
Right. Yes. It's an insult. Exactly. And I loved at the end of the fight where he's like, I'm going to need that back.
Yeah.
He didn't break a sweat. He's not winded. He's not mad. And he's like, Devon, I got you. You're good. Head off. Yeah, I know you're going to go find your master, and I know I'll see you guys later because your master is just not going to be able to not track me down.
Right.
It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And when she, and then of course we get the Return of the Jedi vibes, like, good, let the hateful, when she gets mad and starts like lashing out, he's like, all right, girl, come on. Like, I see you now. Like, you're really, leaning into your power. And it's a great way to call back to the tradition of good versus evil fighting here. And that lure of the dark side, but in a kind of a fresh take way. I don't know. There was just something nice about it. And I really got chills at the end of this when he did that whole thing and then called her by her name. I was just like, oh man, it was really good. And
I never said it.
It calls back to all of the Jedi interaction, the light dark interactions that we've had. Wasn't there a big fight scene? Oh, it was Ahsoka and Anakin in the Ahsoka series when they're on what is that extra dimensional space called?
Oh yeah,
that place.
Yeah, the world between worlds.
Yeah, the world between worlds. Don't they have a big fight? Don't they meet up again and they have a big fight? Like that's what this this fight scene just made me think of every major fight laser sword fight scene that we've ever seen in Star Wars, right? It just had it all in this like quick moment.
Yeah, definitely. Just I again, Maul is such a interesting character, and that there's a part of me that wants to root for him. I'm not gonna pretend. There's a part of me that wants to root for him.
Yeah,
and knowing what I know of him, it's like can't root for this guy.
Right.
Just can't.
Right.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Did you guys both clock that when they were fighting, at one point he did a little spin kick to trip her?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he tried to do it again.
And she
jumped over it. Yeah. She learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like
all the time.
He's mapping her. Yeah. Like what's your action? What's your ability to learn from your mistakes? That's what I'm going to really judge you on. Like, if you could really be my apprentice, like how do you handle adversity? Do you have grit? Do you stay in the fight? Do you learn from your opponent?
Yeah. Are you learning? Are you strategic? Because the first time we see Maul as fans, he's this kind of like unusual looking character that doesn't say much, if at all.
Yeah.
And now we have this very chess-like character that is thinking many moves ahead.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah.
His story arc has really blossomed over the past, 10 years?
Yeah.
20, this walk-on
15.
part.
Yeah, this walk-on part.
He was a stuntman, right? He was a...
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah.
Wild. This whole episode 2, episode 3 at least, felt for me, with the cityscapes and moving around and what we were doing and how they set up the story, it really felt like one of the great graphic novels. Like it was a V for Vendetta, or it was a Watchmen kind of epic. Like it felt like a graphic novel to me, come to life. The setup, the way that they unfolded the story, the visual, obviously the visuals connect to that.
I think I said last week that I loved how they used the chase scenes in those episodes, right? And I think it's not that they had chase scenes in this episode, but they kept that vibe, right? Like I think Elysia just mentioned that Blade Runner type vibe to the animation and to the story.
The cityscape.
Really, and I think I felt that more in episode 3 than I did in the first 2 episodes.
Did you pick up? We can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we could probably shift gears a little bit and start talking about Lawson and Two Boots.
Yeah.
And there was one thing that I picked up with the Lawson storyline in 2 places. Once when they were in the car, when Two Boots and Lawson were in the car and they were talking about the Empire. And I'm trying to remember the other place. But did you hear the little synth background music that was playing? Like it was like,
I don't think I picked
up.
So,
I'm going to have to go back. Yeah.
I heard that and I was just like, oh, Andor. I was in Andor for a minute. Because it was what was the planet, the beach resort planet, Space Miami.
Oh, gosh.
There was some music, that sort of synth, dance pop music.
Yeah.
And there was a tinge of that in this little background sound that they played. And I was like, oh man, I was there. And it brought me that world of cat and mouse with the Empire and, plans within plans and and the stakes are really high and really dangerous.
Yeah, like a leaf motif kind of thing going on, that they brought in this little tune to bring you to a different...
and it wasn't in 4. It was only in 3, and it was in 2 specific points with Lawson. And it was like background music over Lawson, right? It was like cueing his storyline.
All right, I'm going to go back to that.
Yeah.
And seeing those, visually, Elysia says it right. I think you think about Blade Runner, but I also think of film noir, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That kind of vibe. But when you're in the police station, or you see two of them in the car, it just kind of goes back to very classic Hollywood kind of style. Pretty cool,
right?
What are you picking up from Two Boots, Bryan?
Yeah, Two Boots is interesting. He is like many droids in this universe, where he has that kind of personality, because he has these 2 boots that are on, literally. And but at the same time, he is a droid in that he follows protocol. So when you break protocol, he's going to try to pivot back to it, because that's his overarching programming. And he does make, I think, a good partner with Lawson, because Lawson can be maybe a little more emotional. He's human, and you have, this droid Two Boots.
And Lawson's conflicted. Sorry to interject. He's got family stuff going on.
Yes.
And he's under pressure from his boss.
Yep. Exactly.
And he's like, "Oh, Two Boots is under a lot of pressure lately."
Yeah.
He's a droid.
Really? He's a droid. What?
Who's under pressure? You're under pressure, bro. You.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
What? Your arm is a little rusty? What's going on? Yeah. So it's fun to see those two together. But, when we talk a little bit more about policing in the Empire, I'll bring up Two Boots again, following protocol.
Okay.
But it's just very much, he's very much a droid for sure. He is a droid and he acts like a droid. And
Now, am I making up things? Sometimes I have a hard time with memory recall in this day and age because the information flow that's pointed at my brain is, the proverbial fire hose at a teacup. But didn't you, Bryan, suggest that you might be writing a blog post about?
Yes.
Was it about policing in the Empire?
I do, and I plan to put it together. My synapse
degradation is not complete yet. I still have something.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate, John, your remark in the last podcast about, because of both of us are on the same wavelength, and that we're very interested on how policing operates in the Empire. But we can talk a little bit about that a little later in the podcast. But yeah, and then I'll write a lot of this down for us to absorb.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the blog's been a little quiet recently. We haven't any thought-provoking shows out as much. So I would love to see something when you get it together.
Definitely.
Joan, what do you got for Two Boots? He's a little run and gun. That's what your comment was last week.
And now I'm and I don't know why it didn't occur to me before. I guess I do know why. Why does he have two boots? Why does Two Boots have boots? What's going? I need to know why Two Boots is out here wearing boots. I need to know.
Who programmed this guy?
Where is this coming from? I need the backstory of the boots.
Chekhov's boots.
Gotta have it. And I think him and Lawson, Two Boots and Lawson are just so, like you said, Bryan, very Hollywood buddy cop movie, TV show, however you call it. This is them, right? Somebody who's maybe trying to play, not by the rules all the time, and somebody who's trying to be by the rules, but can also kick ass, right? Which is Two Boots.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
He'll jack a garbage scout to stay in hot pursuit. He'll run in, guns blazing. Bro was firing off random blaster shots at an escaping vessel. What if that hit some kid playing out on their balcony or something?
Two Boots is trying to get the guys. He's trying to get the criminals, and he's going to do what he takes. But he's also, like Bryan said, he's programmed, and, his protocol comes to a point where he can't override it, right? Yeah. He has to do what he was programmed to do.
Right.
And it's interesting, right? Very much so. I think I think it's episode 4 where he walks up to Lawson and he tells him, "Oh, I just got up from my power down. Oh, it feels so great. It feels so great." You're like, dude.
I'm rested. You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
Huh?
And I went ahead and did my programming.
Yeah.
I like that he calls out the mundanity, the mundaneness, the mundane aspects of chasing down leads and doing all of this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And that it's like, oh yeah, I'm up for mundane tasks. I'm
right. There, I love it. This is what I do, but I also kick ass.
Yeah.
And he didn't seem to complain when he got knocked down to desk duty. He was just there doing his thing.
Yeah. That's
Along
what
with the
he's
other
told to do.
droids,
That's what I'm going to do.
Did you see that when he slid the box of tapes or whatever it was that he was, filing, behind that box, there was a picture of Lawson and Two Boots. And this was on Two Boots' desk.
Yeah.
And they're showing that, work is coming between two friends, right? That's the thing. But then I was like wondering, like, was Two Boots having any did he do that intentionally or was that accidental because it was there? But I like the ambiguity that they're saying that the tension between these two guys, we don't really know how Two Boots is processing it. We don't know because droids have an emotional life in this universe.
In this universe.
They sure do.
Yeah.
And is he mad at Lawson or is he, missing his friend? Is it like what's going on with Two Boots' emotional interiority? And I just like that there was an ambiguity because of the way that he pushed the box in front of the picture between them. So, all right. I think we got a couple of other things with Lawson. The son storyline like that, the conflicted parent.
Right.
But we get the drop that, was it in this episode? I can't remember now if it was 3 or 4, but they tell us about the ex-wife that she works for the Empire.
Oh, man. I thought it was episode 4.
Okay. My notes might have got my internal notes.
Yeah, maybe it is 4, right? Around
4.
the soccer game, right? There was whatever game that.
Yeah, I think
he went to the game in 3.
3.
It's like a lacrosse style game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 4, but I could be wrong.
Was it his captain was like, but who, I forget who, it's a blur now. Now we're just digging ourselves deeper in the hole.
Yes.
Anyway, we learned a little bit about the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting that his ex-wife, should say, works for the Empire.
Yeah. So that's a great little hook. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back. We'll wrap up with episode 4. And we're back. We're talking about episode 4, chapter 4, Pride and Vengeance. Thank you, Wikipedia, again, for the episode synopsis. Oh, you know what we need to do too? When should we do the comic book stuff? Should we we've got, let me ask you guys this. We have a couple of pieces of information from Elysia. One is about the comic series and how it ties in, and then one about the Pyke Syndicate, like a lore, I don't know what to call it. She called it something else than a lore bomb. Should we play those now or should we talk about, should I set up the episode and then we'll drop them in?
I think
we set up the episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, John?
I think Pyke, we could talk about the Pyke. Okay. We could drop that.
So let's do this.
And then the comic book after.
Okay. So let me set up the episode and then I'll play the Pyke thing and then we'll talk a bit and then we'll play the comic book thing. So Pride and Vengeance, Vario visits Krim's stronghold on Obadiah and secretly brings Maul, who kills Krim. Pyke Captain Cult is made the new leader of the Pyke Syndicate and agrees to be loyal to Maul. On Janix, Devon reunites with Daki and convinces him to help Lawson defeat Maul. Daki sends the location of Maul's hideout to Lawson, and Kleis approves a raid. Two Boots insists they're not equipped for it and goes to call the Empire, forcing Lawson to deactivate him. Maul and his followers are waiting for Lawson and his squad, and Maul offers to protect Janix from the Empire if Lawson agrees to leave them be. Lawson refuses and a firefight breaks out. Daki and Devon arrive and duel Maul, but he overpowers them both despite Daki damaging one of his cybernetic legs. Maul and his followers retreat as Kleis arrives with reinforcements. Lawson finds Daki and Devon and realizes that they are Jedi. He tells them to flee before reinforcements see them. Lawson is soon reunited with Two Boots, who called the Empire after being reactivated. An Imperial Star Destroyer arrives over Janix. Cool. All right. So what did I say? Pyke Syndicate now? I see. Yeah. I have a memory of a goldfish. Okay, here's Alicia's Pyke Syndicate.
Okay, let's talk about the Pykes since they were so central to the story this week. The Pykes are one of the most ubiquitous monospecies syndicates in Star Wars underworld storytelling. They are physically long and slim with fishy-looking faces, and they often wear masks. The masks are to protect them from the spice that they mine. So yes, that's their primary function, is they are spice traders. And yes, that spice is it's definitely inspired by Dune, but it's a much simpler in the Star Wars version. In Star Wars, it's mostly just used as drugs, mostly recreationally, but there may be other applications. There are different variations that are mined from different planets around the galaxy, from the Twi'lek home planet of Ryloth to the moons of Padme, Jar Jar, and Palpatine's home planet of Naboo. And decades later in the timeline, we see the Pykes being chased away from mining spice and Tatooine. These events take place during the Book of Boba Fett. But the center of the spice trade is it's a yellow planet. I think it's the yellow planet we visited during these episodes, although I've seen people call it another one I'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, the yellow planet is called Kessel. That name might ring a bell. It's known for its myriad mining operations that use Wookiees and other slave labor. Kessel is in the Outer Rim. And that mining wasteland is confined actually to the northern hemisphere of the planet. In the Clone Wars, we visited the southern hemisphere of the planet, which is lush and jungle-like still, and that's where the native population lives, because the Pykes, they do not control this planet. They are not from this planet. They are kind of like the Hutts on Tatooine. Mostly, they're just there to protect their own financial interests, and the planet's ruling Yoruba family mostly just sticks to the forested parts in the south and turns a blind eye to what's going on up north. And so that's a wary sort of truce between them. But where the Pykes are really from is a different Outer Rim planet, a dark gray planet called Obadiah, which is at the end of the infamous Kessel Run. And Obadiah is known for its obsidian cliffs, but it's not a friendly world, and it doesn't have friendly people, so you won't find many non-Pykes there. So as far as we've seen, most Pykes are involved in the Syndicate, in sort of the planet's main business. And they like to operate away from the control of official governments, although they have been known to make alliances with other underworld organizations, especially, of course, at this point in the timeline under the leadership of Maul. So there is a Maul, son of Dathomir 4-part comic series, which takes place toward the end of the Clone Wars. It was released, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something. But in that series, this is also the series where Mother Talzin is killed again, where she sacrifices herself to save Maul. But in that series, you also see how some of the members of the Shadow Collective, like the Pykes and like their frenemies, the Black Sun, have started to grow weary with Maul putting revenge before their financial interests and safety. So it's not surprising to learn this week that they turned on Maul when he fled to them after Order 66 kicked in. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that he would choose to flee to the Pykes in the first place, but I guess he was running away from Mandalore, and he knew the first place the Imperials would look for him was Dathomir. So a man with few other friends, where else would he go, I suppose? There's a lot more about the Pykes, and especially the Clone Wars series, but we see in there how Marg Krim becomes the head of the Pyke Syndicate. That is until Maul ended his reign in this week's episodes. But readers of the Dark Disciple book might remember Krim as the crime lord who hired Ventress and Voss to rescue his family from the Black Sun. So, yeah, like I said, they are definite frenemies, Pykes and Black Sun. Anyway, R.I.P. Krim after this week. Long live Pyke Captain Colt, I guess. And that is the basics of the Pyke Syndicate. Just to close with the Ventress Watch check-in, I'm thinking they've already set up a lot of moving pieces that they need to deal with this season. So I am slightly delaying my Ventress Watch to, I'm going to say it's more likely for season 2, since we know that's coming. But I'm prepared to be surprised, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this season regardless. Okay, bye.
We're not at hurricane strength anymore. We're at tropical storm, but it could build back up again. So
yeah,
stay tuned. Interesting.
Yeah.
Bryan, did you know much about the Pykes prior to this?
No.
I feel well educated.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember some of the plots that she was mentioning in the TV shows, but yeah, that's a lot of it I've forgotten. So that's great.
And the Pykes are just around, right? They're just sort of a general purpose bad guy that they can sort of drop in and just, who roots for space heroin dealers, right? Like they're just easy to, just easy to hate, easy to blow up.
Yeah. They look a little scary, a little intimidating too, which is nice.
And Bro just was sitting around in his throne room doing nothing when they walked in and said, "Hey, you got a call." And he's just sitting there looking very bad guy-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. All he needed was just a throne with swords.
Right. Exactly. Fair enough. Jean, thoughts on the Pyke Syndicate?
No, I think they make for a great protagonist, antagonist. I want to, because there's so much underutilized Star Wars characters and settings and places and peoples and things. Like I felt for a long time that I've wanted to get away from, Jedi, Sith, back and forth. I've wanted to get away from the Skywalkers and
the main storyline.
Yeah, and explore the universe truly that that we now know exists. We didn't have that with the original trilogy. We didn't have that. We didn't get much of it after either. But now there's so much possibilities that I want more of these characters that we just hear about here and there. Like I want to go to the Outer Rim. I want to see where I want to see where Dawn is from. These are the things that I'm interested in now. You can give me a show that doesn't have a Jedi Sith background. And I would be perfectly fine with that. Away from the Empire, away from, First Order, away from rebuilding the Jedi. I can watch 8 to 10 episodes of something else within this universe.
Right.
And I think having a story with the Pykes, involving them in this way shows you that, there are other moving pieces to the Star Wars galaxy. And
Bryan, the fight with Eodico, I don't have it written in front of me now. I'm gonna completely make a mess of it. Jean, do you have a handle on it?
No, he's the Jedi.
Eco Diodaki.
Diodaki.
Yes.
Diodaki.
And he is, is it Dennis Haysbert? Was that the actor who voices him?
Yes.
I know I called it out last week.
Dennis Haysbert. Yep.
Yeah.
I hate to hate on, that's my guy. I hate to hate him.
Yeah. He's great.
Can I just say I was rooting for Maul to strike him down
in the fight?
Can I just say that right up front? I was waiting for the final, blow to.
You thought it was going to happen now?
I wanted it to happen. I don't need him.
But isn't he a foil for?
I know.
Devon's anger to come through, and she's going to have the moment of forgiveness or anger.
Yes, all of that is true.
Maybe,
but
just make it happen. Just get it done. We got a few more episodes to go. So, Bryan, are you Are you putting odds that Iodikodaki is not going to make it out alive this season?
Yeah, I don't really see, like Jean, I don't see him as a vehicle. I mean, his character's kind of limited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
he's playing the flat Jedi Master.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
White hat.
So, yeah, and Devon she's a more interesting character. Mm-hmm. So she needs to kind of, just break loose and see what happens. And I think he's, I don't see anything super special about him.
Right.
So we're all zigging. What if the show decides to zag? It seems like we're all zigging in the same way.
I know.
What if they throw a curveball at us and we're like, oh.
What I would like is a tea ceremony with Maul and Daki and debating the relative merits of the Jedi Order and having one of those.
Ooh.
Give me an hour of those.
Huh?
Give me an hour of that.
Yeah.
1 hour.
Exactly.
Give me a solid hour. I'm in.
Right.
I'm in too.
Maul just taking the Jedi Order point by point. No ad hominem attacks, just all very policy oriented and real world evidence, just breaking it down.
I'm waiting for this moment. I need that.
Yes. Maul could just talk to a master about all the problems the Jedi had, all its bad history.
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know what else. Do you guys got anything else for episode 4? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I was taking a bunch of notes during episode 3 and then episode 4. I was just like, no, okay. This is a pretty standard crime story. You have some policing and the Empire thoughts, Bryan?
Yeah, well, before that, I have the why attack Maul. This comes out of the Discord. We were talking about two things, two questions. Why would the police go in against Maul without backup? And 2, why did Devon and Daki fight Maul in the first place? So the first question, I think, first of all, going in without backup is like a trope, right? It's like, wait for backup. And the partner says, nah, I'm going in.
Right.
But
one of my least favorite tropes.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm also interested in this idea of, for Lawson, how well do they know Maul? Do they even know he was a Sith Lord?
I don't
think so. Right?
No, they don't.
So they just think he's like a criminal that we could deal with. So they probably didn't think of what we know as viewers. We know Maul very well. We saw his whole story.
Right.
Yeah. So that's probably another reason why they just decided to just barge in, because they think it's just another syndicate, another criminal. We'll take care of it. And the Devon and Daki, well, some of it we already talked about just briefly before, but there's this, I think, with the Jedi, there's this culture of justice, right? That they have to, like, Devon talks to Daki about, it's like, about justice. And there's hubris, right? About the Jedi. They can go in and save the day. But also Devon has the same kind of youth kind of spirit that Luke had. Remember, Luke also went out of his training with Yoda and Obi-Wan saying, oh, I got to help my friends. I got to go. I'll come back. I promise. That youth kind of, I got to help. I got to do something. And Devon also shows that kind of youthfulness. And so I think those are some of the reasons why some of my answers to those questions that were on the Discord.
Got it. Okay.
And to piggyback off of that, I think she found that because of Maul.
Ah, yeah, okay.
It wasn't her Jedi training. It wasn't her being with her Jedi master that pushed her there. Maul did.
Yeah.
Nice. Say more?
When Maul did. Because when he asked her, what are you doing with that power?
Yeah.
She turns around.
Yeah.
She tells him. She says, we could be helping people.
Yeah.
Because he wants to leave. He wants to go off. He wants to go off planet. The first thing he says when he sees her is like, we got to get out of here.
So you're playing. Maul has you playing his game, and you don't even know you're playing the game.
Don't even
let
know
alone Maul's game.
Don't even
you're
know.
in it.
She's in it.
Which is what I loved always about Andor, is that all the other rebels were playing the game, where they were playing the ISB's game. Only Luthen was playing outside the game.
Yes.
And that took an extraordinary effort on Luthen's part to be able to do that, to think about and to make moves that the ISB could never see coming.
Right.
Yes.
They were reacting to him, not them react. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. They had to react to Luthen.
So she's taken a stand that she wouldn't have taken prior to her encounter with Maul.
Nice. And isn't this where we get some resolution too of why Maul didn't kill Lawson during the prison break? Because he says, like, you're my useful idiot here.
Yeah, I see something. Something I can use. Yeah. Maul is trying to. Maul. He's
smart. Yeah, he's very strategic. Anyone can be an operational master, but and know all the kicks and everything. But it takes someone special to know the strategy,
right?
And put all the pieces together.
When he kills Krem, kills Krem, he doesn't take the seat on the throne, right?
Right,
which is a normal criminal would do.
Yeah.
Say, who are you? Oh, you're the head. You're the head captain. All right, you're in charge now. But everything runs through me.
Mm-hmm.
That's some real G shit right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in the background.
You can have all the trappings. You can have all the bling. You can have all the drip.
Mm-hmm.
But I have something that bigger in mind. I'm trying to get something else, not just
insidious.
Yes. And I'm using all of this to get to that point. So you can do all of this. You could be the face. You can have all the accolades. I'm going to move in shadows. I'm going to whisper in the dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, great way to end the episode with the Star Destroyer. Again, sort of really using the visual language of Star Wars without just recycling it blindly.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was effective because, when that thing rolls into your town, man, over to on your planet.
Oh, man, forget about it.
Yeah.
You think troopers, TIE fighters, big cannons, and all of it is.
And as it's flying over, the thought that I had in my head is like, is it as big as the city? Like, because that's the way they present it. Like, it's going to overshadow the entire city.
Right.
It's going to block out the sun.
Just like the destroyer over Jeddah.
Yeah.
That's right. I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
The visual language of the Empire, we literally are a boot over you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We are going to call the shots now.
Bryan, did you have some thoughts on the policing question in the Empire?
Yeah. I'll try to be, I'll be brief. And, once we get the blog entry up, I could share that. But so I was thinking, I found a helpful article on the Holocaust Museum website that kind of guided my thoughts about the relationship between the Empire and local police forces.
Okay.
So quickly, Hitler and Himmler, who's leader of the SS, wanted to control German police departments. And this makes sense, right? Because the police are an effective tool for authoritarianism. And
they do different things than a military does.
Exactly.
Which is designed for a different purpose, whereas civilian, whether you're military, paramilitary, whatever, policing is different than combat.
Exactly.
Combat operations.
Exactly. And they wanted to
what?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
I said ostensibly it's supposed to be different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sure. And so, like the Empire, Germany's police forces were decentralized. So they wanted to centralize it, right, to give it more control over the policing. But they needed the police. They needed their expertise, but they wanted to, at the same time, centralize them. So there are certain tools that we could follow that the kind of like the Galactic Empire. So the tools are removing individual rights and protections.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got that in this universe, right? Stormtroopers, Inquisitors can take people away, torture them, kill them. So that's check. We got that. Decrees to get the police work with Nazi party officials, check. Two Boots kicks off a set of protocols to bring in the Empire. In fact, he uses that word protocol. It's protocol. So there's something that an agreement between the Empire and Janix police force was created. So the other thing is to replace police leadership with party loyalists. Well, not so much here, because we have droids. They can be programmed, but we have Lawson, the chief, and others that are kind of wary of the Empire at this early stage. So we don't have that complete takeover. So we can't really check that box.
And we're not really at the level of political leadership of the police force. I think she's just his captain or whatever, or immediate superior.
Yeah, chief
she's
of police.
Is she the chief?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
She's the chief of police. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't read. They don't code her for me as the chief. They code her more as like a precinct captain or something like that, not the actual chief. All right. Well, okay. That's just me then. That's a me problem. Because a political leadership, she's behind a desk. She's not. Sometimes chiefs of police are in uniform. Sometimes they're not. It depends on the culture of the police force. I just didn't code her as the chief, but moving on.
Yeah. No, that's important. And the final box is the Nazis used propaganda to merge the police with the party. They did events. They did misinformation and disinformation, helpfulness for Aryan people mostly. But that also hasn't been checked. That box hadn't really been checked. But the problem is, I think, with the Empire, its size. So for Hitler, it took 3 years, up to 6 years, to really centralize the police force in Germany. So it took even for them a number of years to do that. But if you can imagine, the empire is so large that even if the emperor and the governors who wanted to do this, it would take probably decades, maybe 100 years or 200 years because of all the planets. And then when you look at the planets, what police forces are on there on the planet, it's just so many police, local police units out there that I think it would take a long time. But the scary part of it all is that many German police forces just work with the Nazis. They just work with them, especially during the Holocaust. So, the questions would be, will local police forces on the planets just work with the Empire, right? They said, okay, you're in charge. We'll just, maybe in this case, we'll give up our power and you can just arrest this person. I imagine maybe an Inquisitor being on that starship is going to come down and start taking people. And the police force may just say, okay, we can't do anything.
Hands
right?
off. Yeah, it's the Empire.
Yeah. So that's kind of the quick and dirty of it all. And like
kind
I said,
of like a federal law enforcement agency superseding local ones.
Yeah.
And the local cops not being able to get access to evidence or anything else like that. So.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, cool. Well, I look forward to your article.
Yeah, I want to see that fleshed out.
All right.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
I want to see that fleshed out.
Well, anything else for episode 4 for either of you? No? Okay.
Yeah, no. Like Elysia first said, I think Two Boots is going to learn a very harsh lesson. Because, that is what's going to happen. What we know is going to happen is not what Two Boots is expecting to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to get taken. Yeah, and who knows what they're going to do to his programming and what new protocols that they can force on him because it's unlike a person, you can be ordered to do something, but they can't overwrite your memory circuits or your programming.
Right.
Yeah.
So. All right, cool. Well, we will be back here next week for episodes 5 and 6. And we'll see where we go from here. And we're just barreling along. So this is pretty good so far. Bryan, do you want to tell folks a little bit about our upcoming Into the West plans? Because we've got some things in motion.
Yes, we do. We just did a vote for Gene Hackman's movie.
Right. Do you want to set up the premise of Into the West just really quick? Just the elevator pitch on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We had so many unfortunate deaths of major artists in cinema lately that you, Elysia, and John were taking on that mantle, and it just became too much. You wanted to kind of break that free. So my sister Red Zippy and I, and you, David, we came together and put together this Into the West, where we honor those artists who have passed. So we take a look at their filmography, their impact on Hollywood, and then we will vote on a film. We'll talk about that. And so for Gene Hackman, it's the conversation, and we'll schedule that. But also, we're going to have a special guest with Marilyn, and we're going to talk about really Into the West and what that really means. That phrase, that honoring from Tolkien and some other cultures. So we're going to do that with Marilyn, as we are going to do Gene Hackman. And then we're also going to have Robert Duvall and Catherine O'Hara.
Right. Those are our next two. Yeah. And then, the way we do it is we'll get together for a filmography review.
That's right.
And then we'll pick a handful of movies, and then we put that it's open public to the vote. Anybody who listens can vote on it. We'll have that. And then whatever movie the people pick, we'll discuss.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Cool. Jean, what do you got planned for Daredevil coverage? You got another episode
again? Yeah, we're gonna break it up. But I've called the right to have an audible. If there's an episode that needs to be discussed immediately, then we will get on the mics to discuss. But we're gonna break it up. The next, probably you'll hear from us about Daredevil in another week or so.
Okay. Punisher, there's a special
yes,
episode
and we will be doing that as well.
Okay.
There's a special, just a 1 hour special that's going to drop immediately after Daredevil ends.
Okay. Are they going to wrap up the Punisher thing?
Which will then leads us into Spider-Man. So yes, it's about to be a very busy few weeks and months.
Got it. And then we have Spider Noir coming up as well.
Spider Noir, that's going to
is a separate thing, right? That's a tangential storyline.
Nick Cage. Nick Cage, and can't wait to see Nick Cage play this character, because, as you know, Nick Cage, when he gets into it, he gets into it. So, and they denied him Superman. So I can only imagine what Nick Caginess we're going to have with Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is that what they're setting up for in July?
Yes,
okay, got it. I had to go to the show tracker, which you can hit off the link tree. And we have 2 different tracks for the movies and television shows. So I had to look, because we used to have them unified, but it was a lot. So now we've split them up. So
that's on the Marvel side. And of course, Supergirl, which we'll be covering as well. And
of course, we have Mandalorian and Grogu coming out at the end of May. So we got to hit that. We got a lot of movie stuff going
They just dropped a new trailer.
Did they? I missed that.
They did today.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it after we wrap. But they just dropped the final trailer, they said. This is the final one.
Excellent.
Okay. So then Elysia and Red Zippy, speaking of Red Zippy, just did a full podcast. It was supposed to be a What You're Watching subscriber, just quick off the cuff thing. But they ended up just no, we have to talk about this. So that is in the feeds. Elysia and I also did a full coverage of Hamlet, Riz Ahmed's version, 2026 version. Jean, you have to see this.
No, I'm planning on seeing it, if not this week, next week.
Because my man Riz is he's breaking it down. He's like, no, it's not about this indecisive kid. This is about power and what the effect of power is on people and how it churns them up and how you awake to the fact that you're part of a system that is exploiting people.
I mean, you had me when you said he's about to break it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had me there. You had me there, bro.
It's a whole different reinterpretation. It's amazing. And it's just from a different cultural lens. It's awesome. So
awesome.
What else we got going on here? Let me go back to the TV track. I know that Radioactive Ramblers are covering The Boys, and I think they were wrapping up on Invincible. So check their feed out for coverage. And the boys are starting off good from what I hear, right?
This is the best season in
all right
2 or 3 seasons.
All right.
Actually, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's get in on that. So go check out Radioactive Ramblers in the link tree in the show notes. I'm going to see how The Terror comes out, that anthology horror show. I loved the first season of that. So we'll see what they bring us for season 3. And if it's good, we'll do a one shot on it. Yeah, you got some Spider Noir. And then, of course, we have the big juggernaut heading down the highway at us, House of the Dragon. Man, I'm trying to do my season 1 rewatch. That was just such a brutal season of television. I mean, it's so well produced and it's so well acted and all the stuff. But man, like, these people suck. Dude, these people suck.
There's very few people you want to emulate.
I do not want to hang with these people, man. I'm getting intimidated for season 3 too, because like this is going to be a lot of historical stuff, and I don't know if John is into it. So like, Jean, if it's you and me, man, we're gonna, I don't know.
We'll be here. We'll be here.
Well, some of you will be here.
I mean, it's rough, man. It's rough.
It's a rough show.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
it is.
But we have a lot more coming down the pipe too. I mean, Ted Lasso's coming. The Bear's coming back. We got Dune movie. Oh, One Piece. John and Elysia have been doing the live action on One Piece, so they'll have a second episode of that.
Can I interest anyone in Masters of the Universe? He-Man,
bro.
Oh, I think I had a kid toy of his. Yeah.
What are you seeing? Are you tracking it? Is it looking good?
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it. I might have to do a what you're watching.
Yeah, you might have to. All right, you have to sell it on us. Let's see, I'm checking out the show tracker. What do we got here? June 5th, right? Movie?
Yes.
It's an adaptation. All right. I don't know. These boys are, I mean, we got a blonde haired, hot guy like leading the charge here.
He-Man. And he has the power. I'm gonna have to watch it.
What's this actor's name? I don't know who this guy is even. Never seen him before. Here, let me hit the Wikipedia page. All right. Fair enough. Nicholas. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Young guy. Okay. We'll see. Oh, Idris Elba's in it? Come on, man. Idris is getting this bag.
Yes. All
right.
Clayface is coming in 2026.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know.
There's a lot of stuff happening. So
yeah. We're in this lull right now, and then it's going to be a crazy summer. It's going to be busy. All right. Well, let's get out of here. We've taken up enough of people's time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let me give a shout out to our subscribers, and first our Discord server boosters: Aaron K, Tiller the Thriller, Duve71, Athena Ajalea, Lestu, Nancy M, Ghost of Perdition, Radioactive Richard, and Adrian. I'll throw some extra things at our Discord server that makes it more fancy and more flary. We've got a new server tag, which is really cool. You can get a server tag, and sort of it's like a little lapel pin for Discord that you can walk around with. And it just they make our community space a lot better. So thanks everyone for donating those things. To our lore masters, these are our top tier subscribers. And remember, we're independent podcasters. We're doing this for a lot of folks. We're doing it for the love of the game. We meet our costs and we make sure that we throw everybody a few bucks as we can. But we really can't do it all without our subscriber community. And so if you're down for this kind of content and what we do, I would invite you to subscribe either on Patreon or Supercast. Your choice, more or less the same. Some people just are into, not into Patreon or something. So that said, our top tier subscribers: Samartian, Michael G, Michelle E, SC, Peter OH, Nancy M, Duve71. Who's this Bryan E63 guy showing up all over the place?
I don't know.
Frederick H, Sarah L, Gareth C, Andra B, Kwong Yu, Nathan T, Sub-Zero, Aaron K, Dali V, Mothership 61, Gnarls, Kathy W, Lestu, Jeffrey B, Elysia U, Ben B, Scott F, Stephen N, Julia F, Collie S, Il Mariel, Rocky Zim, Jessica A, Red Zippy. Who's this Red Zippy?
Another person.
I don't know. The TCS, Dopamini, LNR, Mrs. Tennant, AC Wilson, Eli W, Cassie K, Chumbaruni, Katila, Josh Liu, Painton PDX, Corey G, Quinch, Jeannie L, who's new. Whoop, whoop, whoop. New
Yay.
Lore Master.
Welcome. Thank you.
And
Awesome.
forever last but never least, Adrian. And yes, you too can send us instructions for how you want your nickname or name pronounced. Like with Dopamini, we say it like a sort of sports announcer thing every time. Gnarls is always a question. Adrian is asked to always be last. So if you want some special spin on your name, you can just let us know. For $10 a month, $108 a year, come on, you can have your name read by us in some weird way that you get a little ziz for. So, but thank you all to our lore masters. We really appreciate you. We literally couldn't do it without you guys. So, Jean, Bryan, thanks for joining me. This was fun.
Thank you. This was fun.
It was fun. It was great.
It was nice to be on the proper broadcasting environment. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, Jean, but I'm like, I do not want to repeat that experience.
Whatever.
It was rough, man. That was rough.
Oh gosh.
But we made it through. We did it. We delivered. It was all right.
It was fine. It was fine.
Through.
It was good.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, you know what? We never listened to Alicia's
comic drop
on the comic. So let's drop the comic thing, and then sorry, Elysia. You put all that work into it, and we completely forgot to play it earlier. We just got caught in our own conversation. So here's Alicia's thing. Maybe but that's a lot of editing. Anyway, let's play it now.
So about the Prelude comic series, Shadow of Maul, I did read the second comic, which came out last week. It does tie into the show very nicely. Brander Lawson keeps having to miss his son. I don't know. How do we say the sport? Botikin, the lacrosse-looking sport. He keeps having to miss his son's matches, so it's nice that he at least got to make an appearance in the show this week. I'm interested to see what they're setting up there, and I'm wondering, now that we've learned that Brander's ex is a member of the Empire, I'm wondering if she might show up
we're going to see her
next week as well, and that could be some juicy family complications.
We're going to see her.
Yep.
But otherwise, in the comic, it's Brander and Two Boots going after Nicodemus, who we saw die in the first episode of the show, but who in the comic has a growing tension with Vario, who, in the show we saw Vario will eventually kill him. So we know where that story's going. But in the comic, Brander is worried about what will happen if the balance between the crime lords of Janix is upset. So that's definitely one of the multifaceted shifts and dynamics we see being set up in the first half of the TV series. In the comic as well, Two Boots is being Two Boots and always wants to report situations up the chain of command where Brander's like, let's just try to handle this ourselves, and is generally less keen to trust authority figures, even though he kind of is an authority figure himself. But then Brander rushes in rashly and things get messy. So in a way, I do sympathize with Order craving Two Boots wanting to follow the chain of command more. After all, as Brander says in the comic, Two Boots is programmed to follow orders.
Yeah.
So it's good to see their characterizations remain consistent, though. In the comic, Brander pointed out that his son's favorite Botikin, however we're saying that, player, he favors strategy over strength. And sometimes his strategy is to create chaos so that he can slip in and take the win. So this seems to be how Brander operates as well. And then meanwhile in the comics, Maul has just secretly landed on Janix and reconnected with his allies. It does feel so far like this comic should be titled Brander Lawson rather than Maul, but I'm enjoying it. It's gorgeous. There are 3 more issues left in the series. The next one comes out May 13th, so 1 week after the show ends. And then issue 4 will be out June 10th. And the final issue in probably mid to late July. I'll talk about the rest of the series when it's done on the Star Wars Canon Padawan feed for subscribers to that pod, and eventually on the public feed, the Star Wars Canon Timeline podcast, when I get that far in the timeline. But anyway, these were my fresh takes and Prelude comic updates. I will check back in later during your recording with this week's lore report, all about the Pyke Syndicate. Bye.
All right, a little bit out of order, but good information. And I figured out how I'll do a future editor drop in at the beginning of the podcast to make sure everybody sticks around for the end of that.
All
so
right, cool.
Apologies, Elysia. Sorry, we broke up your order a little bit, but we were just in our groove.
It was great. Very good.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks much. We will see you next week.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
The Lorehounds podcast is produced and published by the Lorehounds. You can send questions and feedback to starwars@thelorehounds.com and get ad-free access to all Lorehounds podcasts at Patreon or Supercast. Connect with us on Blue Sky. Links for everything in the episode show notes. Any opinions stated are ours personally and do not reflect the opinion of or belong to any employers or other entities. Thanks for listening.